Welcome back to the Blindsiders. I am Ben here with Brian and Dylan talking about episode number 5 of Survivor 49. And we have a couple things to talk about, I think, in this episode. I would say for me, this was 85% stuff that we've already seen before, just kind of rehashed. And then maybe 15% of the episode was some new and interesting stuff to talk about, which seems to be the pattern this season so far. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Go ahead. You go ahead, Brian. I need to gather my thoughts.
Okay, it's kind of my night. Jason got eliminated, my winner pick. So unfortunate for him. A little swap screwed, but that's Survivor. Never said it was a fair game. It happens to the best players. But I think this episode, because it was the same tribe going to tribal council again, and it seemed like in reality this tribe was pretty together on voting out Jason. They had to add a little bit of drama with Juwan, carrying over the storyline of him using Savannah's bag and now using the water bottle. That's insane. I don't know how that happened, but I guess it did. But I think going into the episode, if you had asked me who do I think is going to go, I'd say Jason. And then there wasn't really much in the episode that made me truly believe that it wasn't going to be Jason, despite their best efforts. And I know, tough spot to where it's such an obvious boot, right? But not the craziest episode, to be sure.
It was a boring boot. I think it was the definition of a middle of a road episode. Not the episode I wanted coming off of last week, where I feel like we gained a little bit of momentum back for the season. And based on the trailer for next week, it seems like we're going to continue going downhill. So I'm back on to the hate watch of season 49. I am officially there. I think that the way the tribes are now laid out, and I think that the very, very clear dominant force that is Savannah, who I am officially declaring the winner of 49 already. I think it is very, very obvious based on the time that we're spending with the other tribe. I can't even remember the tribe's names now at this point because of the swap. The tribe that won today, so the tribe that won the challenge that did not go to tribal, I think is getting so little screen time because they're going to be so incredibly irrelevant once we get to the merge. I don't know. I think once again, it's interesting watching Savannah. I think that we're watching a top 3 player in New Era Survivor unfold, which is great. And take that for what you will. That can mean a whole lot of something or a whole lot of nothing. But I think when you're taking the knowledge of 50 and adding that into assuming she probably wins the season, I am enjoying her. I think she's also a good confessional. I think she is entertaining. I know a lot of people are big fans of Sage. I find Sage kind of like a ripoff of Carolyn. Based on the preview for next week, I find some of her stuff a little bit performative for the cameras, which is fine because maybe Carolyn was a little bit performative too.
It's a TV show. You can be performative, I feel.
I think when you kind of get into that and you get into the season, and I think that we're in for, who knows? We've had seasons before where pre-merge was a mess and boring. We get to the merge and things pick up a lot. I think that we could be seeing that here, but I don't know. Like I said, I'm watching Savannah and Rizzo. I'm watching in the preparation for 50. I want to get to 50. Still like Sophie. I think Sophie, although not the best episode for her, I do like Sophie a lot still. I think Nate, for the most part, I still like. I thought he was a little bit of a wuss in that challenge, and he was mean to Rizzo, which I didn't like.
He's a very skinny guy, in fairness to Nate.
I don't know. I'm down. And it wasn't necessarily a terrible episode. We've seen this show enough to know kind of what's going on. And I think when we see in the preview for next week, which I'm sure we'll bring up and talk about, so we don't need to get into it now. It's just becoming very, very stale and bland, and I'm sick of it. But positives is Savannah, like I said, and another positive was Juwan putting the white rock on top in the bag. I thought that was funny and a nice, one of the only few things that I feel like we hadn't seen before in the new era was something like that. Mm. So that was a plus.
Yeah, there's a lot of very interesting micro strategy kind of going on with Juwan reading the rock draw and like the things that Nate did in the journey to like, like marginally manipulate MC. And then you have like some of the Sage versus Shannon stuff where they're like playing off of each other and there's like this larger storyline going on. It just feels like none of it matters, right? Like there's like flashes of people doing interesting things, but as far as like the overall narrative of what's going on in the strategy of the season, like the macro strategy, it just feels like it's completely irrelevant. And I think the journey is really like the summation of that kind of vibe for the season so far through 5 episodes, where we spent an entire segment both before and after our commercial break on a thing that had zero impact on anything. Because they both go, they're threatened with losing their votes. Neither of them loses their votes, which is good. I think we all agree that's good. And neither of them gets an advantage. And they just did this thing for fun. Like, and like, we spent, fucking 15, 20 minutes of the episode on a thing, on like them just moving sandbags for no reason. It's like, was that necessary? No, it just ate up a bunch of time. I was like completely zoning out because it wasn't that particularly interesting. We got some potentially a situation where they're interacting with each other. We don't even know if like that interaction will play into storylines down the road, because there's been plenty of things so far this season that seem to be being set up that have not paid off.
Yep.
And I feel like that's like my feeling so far this season. It's been like 5 episodes of foreplay and like 0 payoff.
And I don't think the cast as a whole can carry that type of storytelling that the crew is doing, and they're probably doing that because they realize that, I don't know. We talk about the same characters we've seen before. When I quite literally say I feel like Sage is kind of just like a discounted version of Carolyn, and that's not necessarily a knock on Sage. I will say I actually like watching Sage. It's not that I dislike her. I think I find her, whether it's playing enough for the cameras or not, I find it refreshing of not everybody kissing each other's ass and just everybody buddy. I've talked about before how I hate that, and that kind of blanket that's on the new era of Survivor is a lot stems to that everybody is so afraid, and we talked about it last week too. Everybody's so afraid to be the bad guy or to make someone not like them. So I appreciate Sage for that. But to your point too, Ben, it just feels like it's something that's not going to pay off at all. And it's almost being added in as filler for these incredibly lackluster and boring episodes. I also can't even remember what the root of the Sage and Shannon thing was that started all this. Now it's just like funny, like, haha, Sage hates Shannon.
Both wanted to be the quirky girl on the season. Yeah. Got cast on the same tribe. Pretty devastating.
Which I have worked in offices and I have been in groups of people that I have absolutely wanted nothing to do with. So I totally get that. Sure. That part I 100% buy if Sage has had her fill of Shannon. It's just more so like the looks at the camera and stuff. And I think everybody buys into that so easy. Like, oh my God, she's so quirky. I hate that. We get into the chicken stuff too. The chicken stuff was ridiculous. Talk about playing it up.
I do want to say, I do appreciate that Sage has a good hate in her for Shannon. Like, that's fun to me. Like, it's always fun to me when people just hate one another, and like even more fun when it's a little probably entirely one-sided. I don't know how Shannon feels about Sage other than trying to strategically get her out, but like, I don't know. I like it when people don't like each other on these shows. That's good.
I don't disagree. It's more so I don't know. I don't even know what I mean anymore. I could come back next week and say that I love Sage. It's great. I don't know. I'm coming out of this bitter.
Based on how the season's gone so far, I doubt it coming back next week being like, I love this season.
No, I will. I feel pretty confident I'm not going to come back saying I love this season, but it's I don't know. Once again, I'm watching Savannah and Rizzo. I don't want to just blab on about how much the season sucks, because I think it's no secret to a lot of people that the season that's not been great so far.
I mean, I will say, like we said before on the podcast, for me, like there have been other seasons that have been more actively bad that like make me like like dread having to like watch the show in order to keep up with it. Like I'm not like despising the season. I'm just completely apathetic to the season. Like which is like, you could say maybe it's better or worse. I don't know. Like maybe, at least like seasons I've despised, like they made me feel something. Like I just feel nothing about the season so far.
And I think we've talked in the past too about how the edit has done a really good job in recent seasons. I maybe they're this season working with not a whole lot. And I honestly might have said last week I thought the edit was good. The exact opposite this week. I thought the edit was purely to try to create drama completely out of nothing. Saw that with the end vote. The entire time we're led to believe it's potentially Jawan or Jason, and for whatever reason Rizzo was thrown into there. And when you saw Rizzo's name, it was absolutely nothing. Because if Rizzo was voted out, I would have left the show because it would have been the worst storytelling ever. I don't know. Part of me feels like I'm hopeful that when we get to the merge, we start to really see the powerhouse that is Savannah and her allies, which I got a feeling is going to be Nate, Rizzo, and Sophie, and kind of how that all plays out. I honestly would not be surprised if that's Final Four at this point, just based on how we're seeing the rest of the game. Maybe the Nate thing will pay off with MC, where it's Nate, Savannah, Rizzo, Sophie, and MC in Final Five. At this point, I feel like that would be the most interesting Final Five at the end, with MC unfortunately kind of being that the bronze that kind of gets pushed out once they realize that they can't compete in challenges against this person. That almost feels like the exact blueprint for what is left for the season, with maybe the caveat that eventually Nate or Savannah or Sophie and Savannah will have to turn on each other somewhere in the middle of that. But once again, that feels like something that we have seen so many times in the new era, but maybe not as lopsided as this in terms of the edit and storytelling, where it's like very clear they're trying to make it seem like this tribe has its problems, and look at this tribe over here, they keep winning. We don't get that time with that tribe that keeps winning though, and that's why I'm like, this tribe is going to be absolutely nothing once we get to the merge, because all we're seeing is this whole Savannah and Sage and Shannon thing that overall doesn't seem like it's going to pay off at all strategically. It just seems more like it's a yucking it up for the people at home. Like
Maybe next week.
No offense to Sage and Sophie, they are Shannon. Too many S's this season. I don't think that they are the strategic powerhouses that we could expect with spending this much time with these people. I think that this is more so we want to get some people to have some laughs. And once again, Ryan, I think a lot of people enjoy a hate watch of watching somebody else hate someone else. So I think that's a lot of that too. I think our golden gooses are with that tribe of Savannah, Rizzo, Nate, Sophie, and we talked about last week. I think that we would think that even if we had no knowledge of what was going on in 50, just based off what we have seen so far.
Yeah. I mean, really on the other tribe, MC, Steven, Alex, all interesting characters. We'll see how they slot in with next episode. It's hard to say what's going to happen on this tribe if they lose. We'll never know, because they're swapping the tribes next episode. So it's hard to prognosticate on the future of the blue tribe. But I mean, Dylan, you had some feelings about the chicken scene. I want to give you the floor to air your grievances.
I do want to be clear. I've never taken once again, mosquitoes, bugs, sure. And I think that I've done that. I won't try to lie like Steven. I have killed bugs and I unfortunately set mouse traps before. I've never killed an animal for food. I've never killed an animal out of hatred. I'm not a serial killer, but I've also never killed an animal for food. So I can't imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine it is not a pleasant experience, especially your first time doing it. I can't imagine that it is fun, and so I totally get that front. I think the group of people on the beach blocking their ears and sitting in a circle crying was one of the most ridiculous things I've seen in Survivor in a while. And I think Sage being in the middle of that was quite ridiculous and kind of plays up to me thinking that she's playing a lot of things up for the camera. I think whatever cutaway that was of saying that Sage had chickens growing up, but she's not a vegan, didn't know what the fuck that meant. That made no sense to me. I thought that whole thing was ridiculous. Them killing the chicken, that sucks. I would not want to be that person when I'm on Survivor. I am very happy that this wasn't a dilemma where people were like, we don't want to kill the chickens.
Mhm.
I think the whole bit we had with Ty, which was great of not killing the chicken, because that was almost his whole story. A lot of his storyline that
Yeah.
season was the chicken,
Rip
and it
Mark
paid
the
off.
chicken, I assume.
Rip Mark, I assume, hope, yeah, maybe,
Yeah.
unless he's like the oldest chicken ever to live. That would be
Yeah.
quite
He let him out of the tribal council set, and I assume he died immediately because chickens.
maybe
You know.
did not make the flight home. I don't know how that
Yeah.
worked with customs and bringing in chickens from out of country. That too.
Yeah.
Hated that. Once again, I would not want to kill the chicken. I would be sick to my stomach. I have never been a fan of seeing animals hurt at all.
Mhm.
But I love chicken. I would need to eat the protein. And
Mhm.
I'm glad that they were not in dispute of killing chicken or not, because that would have really upset me. But I think that whole scene on the beach of them coming have a recollection with life. And once again, I totally understand taking an animal's life is not fun, and having to do it for your nourishment, even though it's natural, it's not fun. I'm not saying they're wrong for that. I think the whole show, and it kind of plays up to the whole thing of Survivor loves to show people when they're sad and hurting and trauma dumping.
Mhm.
And it is,
Oh
it's,
yeah.
it's ridiculous. And they've always obviously liked that story for TV. They like to get, people talking about their past and all that. But I think it's gotten, especially from last season leading into this season, it has noticeably gotten so ridiculous. Once again, what was Sage talking about? She grew up with chickens, but she's not a vegan. And she's blocking. That made no sense to me at all.
I think that she has pet chickens, not like farm chickens. I think she legitimately had pet chickens, but she also was acknowledging the hypocrisy of her having grown up with pet chickens while still not being vegetarian or vegan, and therefore she had pet chickens while eating chickens, but like never really, it had to live within that kind of hypocritical perspective, and it's kind of an acknowledgement of that. That's how I read it. I don't know if that was what she was going for.
Probably a rational person would read like that. I'm on a hate watch. You need to remember that also.
I mean, I think it's dumb. I mean, like, I don't know if this is a hot take, but like they've been killing crabs and fish and stuff. Like, I really do not see that much of a difference. I am a pescatarian. Maybe that's also hypocritical for me. Because I eat seafood and not, their meat.
And I had sushi tonight. I'm right there with you, man. I don't.
But like I don't know. I feel like that we've already squeezed out like as much. Like we've squeezed out every possible iteration of the chicken storyline throughout 25 years of Survivor. Like there's just no like interesting
no juice left.
Yeah, there's no juice left for me. So that's my take on it. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was funny that that Sophie was whining about not getting protein, and then they give them the chickens, and then she's like on the beach, like with the women, like kind of having a breakdown over it. It's like, I mean, this is your monkey paw moment. You know what I mean?
Listen, we've graduated from chickens. We saw people. Well, I guess we didn't see them, but they killed a goat on Game Changers. They didn't show it, but you want to give some more like morality. Give them a goat and be like,
baby goat.
Do it, yeah, baby goat. Jesus Christ, be even darker. But it's like, do what you got to do with that.
Maybe the millennial generation is as a whole metrosexual at its base level, and we are.
I mean, Alex was talking about it,
And
he's a poster boy.
And I get, once again, I am not a
I get it. I always say like I'm an indoor cat. Like I'm right there with Alex.
Mm-hmm.
Snapping the neck is brutal. I personally would go for a clean chop in the head off, but also that's insane.
That'd be so hard.
Or just crushing its head with the rock. Now we're getting maybe okay.
For me with the machete thing, I would be afraid of like chopping my hand because like the chicken's like if the chicken's like kind of struggling.
Yeah.
I feel like just swinging it with the neck is like
you just gotta break his neck and hopefully you can do it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I could either. I don't fucking know.
What they really need is a tailor from Kid Nation there to just tell them to deal with it.
Yeah.
Kid Nation.
Shout out Kid Nation.
This is not that's not the first time Kid Nation has been brought up on this podcast somehow.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we got to do a whole episode on Kid Nation.
Kid Nation rewatch. That would be
There's some good stuff in there. It's a messed up show, but it's really entertaining.
Who killed the goat? Was it JT on Game Changers?
That they didn't show it happen, but Sandra said that they killed it after the camera stopped.
Yeah, JT was on the tribe. I presume he was probably involved.
Yeah, JT, Malcolm, Varner, one of them probably. Probably it was JT. Let's be real.
I think I remember it was. Yeah. Didn't he collect the blood?
JT, well known for snapping chickens' necks in Heroes versus Villains, which is all I ever think about during these scenes. Is James talking about his grandmother ripping the head off a chicken and making it chase him and his siblings. I miss James. Why was James not on season 50? Come on.
Mm-hmm.
He's completely disappeared from the internet.
I was about to say, I'm not sure I know what recent James looks like.
Yeah. I would imagine he's still jacked. I mean, come on.
I was gonna say, would he be the new Superman in a fat suit? Like, would it kind of close?
It would have been like a great full circle moment if he sucked a challenge all of a sudden. He doesn't get hurt, but he's not good at challenges.
Mm-hmm.
But
we have a discount version of Jonathan for James. Maybe perhaps not as strategically sound as James, but he is the meathead of season 50.
The new era. Not as funny. James is
I think that size wise maybe, but there's James.
That's all I was going off of size wise.
Yeah, there's a level of charisma that James has that is not matched.
100%. Although I'm a Jonathan defender, I think that
I don't mind Jonathan.
Way
but
better.
I think James is almost untouchable in terms of Survivor characters because the size, the character, he's so great. The way he's gone out on seasons.
I've also still never watched Survivor China, so that is on the list.
Whoa, what? Dude, it's so good.
It is up there.
Good.
I'm technically in my pure rewatch season to season. I am still on Marquesas, so I have
pretty far away.
Were you on the finale of Marquesas though?
I am at the merge, so I have a ways to go.
Okay.
Did you watch the merge episode, or are you?
No, I am quite literally at the merge episode.
Okay.
That's a good episode.
I think I'm going to get back into it. The problem is I steamrolled through Outback and Africa. That once I got there, I needed to take a quick break.
Shout out Mara Amu, the very first disaster tribe in the history of the show. Great buff too. That lime yellowish color, so good. I don't think I have it in this room, but I have a row 2 buff from 2003 with the Reebok everything. I bought it back then. I bought the Mara Armor one as well, but I lost it at some point. Anyways, we don't need to talk about my buff collection, although I could for a podcast.
Is that the last time you used neon yellow as a buff color?
What was that?
Is it the last time they've used a neon color for buff?
Yeah, they haven't had many that kind of color scheme. They do pastel sometimes. It's the closest.
Yeah, I think Cambodia had pastel colors, right?
Yeah, and occasionally a random season will do it, but I don't know. Like I said, and we wanted to, and maybe one day we will. We can go on a deep dive of the buffs of Survivor.
I would love to do. Everyone love generate an episode where we come up with our top 5 buffs. And we say why, other than why they just look cool.
Okay.
Speaking of China, the China buffs are really cool. I got a couple of China buffs.
Yep, I got the merge buff and the Fei Long buff, but I don't have the Zhan Hu.
I think I have Zhan Hu and then He Da Feng. I don't have Fei Long, which is ironic because you think Fei Long would be the one to have.
Yeah, right. Fei Long one's great. God, if I had to pick my favorite, was it Boa? What was Rupert's pet snake's name? Boa. Balboa. The Balboa buff being the first black buff, pretty iconic. Pretty amazing. I love and like the season isn't well regarded, but the Thailand merge buff, the gold is sick and so unique. There's no other buffs like it, in my opinion. Like Ben said, the China buffs, all three bangers, like so good.
I have a Karora buff. I really love the Karora buff. I love the camera.
Karora buff and like iconic because they never lost. It's so sick, and they got to be the merge tribe. I do have the merge tribe buff from Palau, that green one that they never used. That was a tough one to track down, but I did it. And
I'm a fan of
there's
black.
Just so many good ones.
So I like the Token Sheens one a lot. The black, with like it has the bird with like the yellow L. I'm looking at him right now. China is a very cool buff. I've actually looked at that before and wanted to get it because I love the Chinese symbols to the left of it. I think the whole scheme of that. The red, it's like it's a dark red rather than like a bright red. I like that one a lot.
Yep.
That's legitimately, that could be a filler episode we can do. If we get another episode like this, we might be doing this next week.
I know.
No, I know people rip on black tribes, but I like the Yin Yang tribe buff as well. Like it's just really good.
Really good. Yeah. What do I have here? Let's see. I got right next to me. I have my villains buff. This is his all-time favorite. Obviously, the villains are such an iconic tribe. That's all I have in arm's reach. It's just
we'll find our way in the other room.
Keep that on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Love buffs. You know, hated when they put tribe names on the buffs. Didn't like that. That was horrible. Glad they went away from that in the 20s. That was terrible. But I like also the Philippines merge buff, the orange and black, very Halloween-y. The merge happened on Halloween. I remember covering that live. That being like, did they plan this? But yeah. Anyways, Hina, new Hina. Jason gets voted off. Very sad for me. Very sad for him too, because he was the alternate, and then got his dreams cut short. Who knows? Maybe it would have gone better on another season, but also maybe he never would have gotten to play again. So
it might have gone better if he did anything differently. To be honest with you, I think not.
I don't know. I think he was screwed. Like he was dead. This was the furthest he was going to get once that swap happened.
Yeah. Vote once again. We need to see the reason why he voted Rizzo. If there was some sort of strategy to that, I doubt there was. To be honest with you, and I think that because the clear narrative coming from the players was that Jawan was the smoke and mirrors second choice for everything, and he just voted Rizzo for whatever reason. Not playing the shot in the dark here, insane. It doesn't make any sense. That
was crazy.
I do agree. Tough break for him. I think that you got to do anything else to try to keep yourself in this game. And I think that he didn't do that. So, smell you later, unfortunately. I'm glad I'm not in last place. I don't have last place this season. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, your winner pick even got a confessional this episode.
She did, yes. Apparently it's always about food, according to the Reddit. All her confessionals have been about food. So I don't love my chances as of right now.
Yeah. I'm holding out. I feel pretty confident that I'm gonna get the win on this one, but we'll see.
I think you're right. Yeah.
I'm also declaring war on all the people who have the name with S that is not Savannah and Sophie with an I, because I can't keep doing all these S's with Sage.
Can't have it.
Other Sophie. So unless you're Savannah or Sophie with an I am at war against the S's. So
yeah. Do you think when everyone got to the island, they were like, "Oh shit, we cast a lot of people with S names on this season. How did we miss that?"
They're probably getting. Somebody also brought up that I guess there was two people with SA that have similar initials that when they go to write. It could potentially look. You won't be able to tell who's who. So we've joked about that before.
Jawan and Jason.
Or Jason was JA both.
Yeah,
So,
I mentioned that in our little group chat when they showed, I think it was Savannah writing the JA in the parchment, because the editors love that when there's like when the vote's between two people and they have the same starting letters. You know, they did the craziest version of this that they loved was at the start of 42 when they had Mariah and Marianne who had the same first 5 letters of their name the same, and so they went hard on that one, so they love that shit.
it's almost like an Easter egg when you like look to see of like how they're gonna mesh it up. Of like if someone that's going, if there was an S in there for first name and a J, and like somebody slightly wrote like a curve for a J at first, and then really just writing an S backwards or something like that. The one troubling thing about that is that Ben is the one who texted me that, and now the lines are very blurred between our group chat and the Reddit now, and I don't really know what's reality and what's not. So as the resident podcast Reddit person, that makes me a little bit nervous.
Our Reddit correspondent.
Yeah, that makes me feel uncomfortable that I'm being mistaken for potentially a Reddit comment.
You may be. This whole thing, it just may be one big Reddit ploy. Honestly, I have not been able to form an opinion of my own in like 2 years. So that's where we're at. Yeah, Jason, kind of back to your point though, Brian, and it's kind of the point of getting back into what we saw for next week. I think the show, one, coming as an alternate, I can't imagine is the easiest of things, even though obviously you're not able to talk and communicate with other castaways before the game starts anyway, which obviously got those people in trouble originally. I got to be on, there's some sort of like you're almost lesser than type mentality. And maybe I'm making that up in my own head of you were not originally picked. And the people that were originally picked did whatever to not be here. And now you're kind of here, you're a scab in a way. That could just be me, myself. And I don't know if people actually feel like that, but it can't be the best mentality going into it of, I'm sure it's very exciting of you're there as an alternate. You think you're just going to be sitting here, you know, on this island for 30 plus days at this point. I forget how long they're actually there for, not including the game. And then all of a sudden you're plucked away the night before. It was like the night before, I think is when it happened. I think is what they said. So that can't be the easiest. I just think, unfortunately, he really did not do a whole lot to fight for himself. And I think that that's a little disencouraging to watch, you know, because everybody, I mean, we know how hard so many people have fought to be there and people that work to be there. And there's not a doubt in my mind that Jason deserved to be there. I just wish that he had fought a little bit more. And in that sense, I'm not necessarily just sad to see him go. So that's kind of like the end of my thought there on that.
Yeah, I think statistically that's not really the case, except on like returning player seasons where there's like pre-gaming happening. Historically, there's been, I would say, alternates tend to do better than average, and there's like a number of winners that were alternates. We have Tina famously was an alternate. I believe Fabio was an alternate. And then Rachel famously was an alternate. Other people who have gone deep who are alternates, Davey Rickenbacker on David vs. Goliath was an alternate. Like I think on average, alternates tend to do pretty well.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I did not know Tina. I have heard before that Fabio was an alternate. Obviously, about Rachel, I did not know Tina was an alternate.
Yeah, Fabio famously replaced Hayden Moss, who ended up as an alternate on Big Brother 12, and then he also won Big Brother 12. So, yeah, Fabio replaced Hayden, who went on Big Brother, and they both ended up winning their respective seasons. So,
and then Hayden got to play Survivor. Where is Fabio's Big Brother chance? Come on. We need to see if he can go far.
Yeah.
Has Fabio been seen in 10 years?
I think he's modeling.
Yeah, I think he also had some health issues that he was dealing with.
That sucks.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable he didn't put him on Winners at War. He would have won for sure.
He would have been in the mix I think he would have been in the mix, yeah.
I think the way that season gone, probably.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, anything else that we got for this episode? We went on a lot of tangents. We talked about buffs, which was very exciting for me personally, but I don't know how exciting that was for the listeners.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the vote, like, there was not even a moment in my mind that I thought that Jason wasn't just going home here. It makes zero fucking sense for them to vote out Jawan. Like, I mentioned this in our chat, but, like, Jawan is like the perfect ally. Like you could not invent a better ally if you tried. He is like blindly loyal to a fault for like seemingly no reason, despite like he's done the correct calculation in his head to realize he's at the bottom, but he's also still blindly loyal to his group. He is expendable at any moment. He is socially maladroit, which means both he's going to be a target in front of you at the merge, and also if you do end up going down towards the end game, he's the perfect person to sit next to in the end. He's not winning jury vote. He's not winning the game. Like there's literally no rational reason to vote out Jawan. The only reason that was being pitched both to us as the audience and like within the context of the game was like Savannah had personal issues with him annoying her. And it's like, that's good. You want somebody around who's annoying.
And I think it's once again not to just keep kissing Savannah's ass, but I think it was the right move by her not to overly push Jawan. But once again, I got a feeling that was more the edit trying to formulate any sort of conflict they could to try to get us to think that potentially maybe it wasn't Jason. So I can't really put too much weight on that, but yeah, I am stonks are down again after this week. I've been very clear about that after being up. Some people saying this is the best episode of the season. I know not a high bar to hit. I thought last week was far and away a better episode.
Well, why? Nothing happened. All things that happened ended up being completely irrelevant.
Unless there's some sort of gigantic payoff to Shannon and Sage, which I am having.
Yeah, but then okay. Say next week we get payoff to Shannon versus Sage. Then next week will be the good episode for me, right? Like the like second episode of build up for the Sage and Shannon stuff is not the best episode. The best episode is going to be when the payoff actually hits.
Yeah. Once again, as the local Reddit correspondent, I can only relay to you what I am reading out in the fields of Reddit.
The mean streets.
One thing I will say, once again, I've just turned this whole thing into a segment of what the Reddit's saying. After I think last season I said I'm never going on the Reddit again, and all of a sudden I'm reporting live.
You said that last week.
From the field, and yet here we are, Brian. Here we are. It seems like a lot of people are very aligned for the most part and sharing the same sentiment we do, which is nice. That it seems like there was some sort of reasoning and rationalization coming back to the Survivor fan base, where I think 3 or 4 seasons ago, it seems like we had kind of lost it to the loud minority that was on Twitter and Reddit. So I think we have a revolution coming towards Survivor if season 50 ends up being a dud, because I don't think that this show can sustain that any longer. So that's positive in the sense that we might just be calling for Jeff's head if season 50 stinks. But the one thing I don't want to forget to talk about is there was a preview for next week that I ended up going back and watching after Ben highlighted that apparently we were going back to 3 tribes of 4, which is quite possibly the worst news we could have gotten because overall, even though we're talking about one, I do think that they are very nervous that the tribe of the Savannah, Rizzo, that tribe, whatever their name is, I don't even know what the names are anymore. They're going to be purely dominating. I hate that. So I'm going into next week with an even more rejuvenated hate watch of I cannot believe they're doing it to us. I've already kind of brushed aside the fact that they were trying to take away votes again this week, even though it didn't seem like the challenge as a whole was something that they could have failed. It was more so they wanted to see if somebody would break off to go find the advantage or idol or whatever is going to end up being. But man, I hate that. I hate that we're going back to 3 tribes of 4. Once again, another kneecapping. Let's see what the actual tribe layout is going to be. If we get, it will be funny though, if we get a tribe of 4 of Savannah, Rizzo, Sophie, and Nate, that would be quite funny if that happens, because then we're just
I've looked at the tribe breakdowns. They're not particularly compelling to me. But Sage and Shannon are on the same tribe. Spoiler alert. So there is a possibility that payoff happens.
It's good news that what I said was fun but not all that intriguing. The Sage and Shannon hate is pretty much the second most intriguing storyline of the season. That is not a good omen for what is in store for us.
Yeah, I mean, I think like it feels like we're just getting set up for that tribe to lose, and then the Sage and Shannon situation pays off, and then we merge. I hope that's where we're going. It's the only thing that feels rational based off of the way that the storytelling has happened. But like, that's still not like that interesting.
Right. All right. Well, we'll see what happens. I think this is the first time we've ever seen a tribe come back from the dead, right? Like, we've never seen a tribe retired and then back out there, you know?
I thought we did on. Did we not on Cambodia?
No. I mean,
they started from 2 to 3, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, which I thought there was a season that went 3-2-3. Was there not?
3.
I thought Cambodia went 3-2-3. I could be. Or
No, Cambodia started. Cambodia did start 2. I think Cambodia went 2-3-2.
Yeah, I think went 2-3-2 merge. Yeah.
Yeah. Game Changers, I think, also went 2-3-2 or 2. No, they went 2-2-2. Where they swapped twice between two tribes.
There's a third tribe. There's that green tribe.
Oh, was there? Oh, so we've seen 2-3-2, but never 3-2-3.
Right.
Okay.
I just never remember a tribe going away and coming back.
Yeah, that makes that actually that tracks then now.
Like Julia on Korong went to a tribe by herself.
Yeah, it was like a pseudo exile island situation. Yeah.
But she got like the buff. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that counts. To have a Survivor Wiki person be the deciding factor on what counts. I think the reason why it hasn't happened yet is because it's fucking stupid to make a three.
True. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, like 3 tribes to 4 is gotta be the least interesting way to split tribes.
Well, it goes back to the whole just kneecapping the effort people have put into pre-merge of Survivor really should pre-merge being fighting to win the challenge so you can get to the easiest vote that will get you to the merge. And all of a sudden it has become into doing that and then throwing in the incredibly frustrating and uninteresting kneecapping by the producers to say, hey, let's just throw away everything they've done to this point, put them into a dramatic situation where really the vote, there's going to be not a whole lot of rationalization behind it other than I need to get to the next vote. I need this person to go away. Regardless of whether this person is a good player, narratively, if we spent a lot of time with them to this point, like what we saw last season, where for somehow Cedric and Say made the faux merge, or no, Say didn't make the merge, Cedric made the merge, and then Cedric was the first one voted out, and somehow Cedric made the merge. Sage didn't. That whole stupid thing when they did that split, it's there's no other reason to do it other than that of they're just getting their yucks in and kicking their feet saying, I don't, because at this point they've heard the feedback. People don't like this. I don't know anybody who does like this. It's not interesting. It doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can do it now is it feels like a troll. The whole thing does feel like a troll job. Could be the greatest troll job ever.
I'll put it this way. I'll be interested to see if this is an improvement on Mergatory, because I don't like the Mergatory at all. I think it really muddies like, oh, this person didn't make the merge, but they got voted off on a round where they were on the same beach as everybody else. I've always hated that. So if we lose that because of this twist, maybe I could be on board. That's like one possible, way to win me back, but we'll have to see. Maybe it is like really dumb next week.
I mean, to be fair, they basically scrapped everything about the Mergatory that made it really bad by the time we got to last season, where like they were just running it like a normal merge, and then they had like this separate merge feast as the reward challenge for half the people thing. Yeah. And then like otherwise strategically it ran the same, and they're like, oh, but we're not the merge yet, even though it is the merge, and they're very clearly operating otherwise as if it was the merge. So I don't know.
Give them their buffs, Like I hate that people have no buffs.
Yeah. No, I mean it's dumb for sure. Like, don't get me wrong, it is still dumb, but like they progressively made it less dumb over the seasons, and now it seems like they're like, oh, okay, I guess we could do like a later merge comparatively to the rest of the new era at least.
Yeah,
but like they're doing a later merge by like splitting the tribes into as few possible people as they can, and making the strategy as like uninteresting as possible.
Yep, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
The one positive is that after next week's episode, I think at least potentially all of us, maybe, where I don't know if that's determined yet, will be at the Survivor Cafe for what should technically be the Survivor or the Merge episode, I think, assuming next week is only a 1 week thing with the 3 tribes.
I thought next week was going to be the Merge, so who knows?
I think the day that at least I will be at the Survivor Cafe will be is the Merge episode. I think that's confirmed. Or maybe like the first episode. I don't know. I don't know.
I agree that it should be the Merge at 11. But like I also assumed that we were going to merge at 12, and we were not. So I don't know. I don't know if there's an actual confirmation or if this is just like an assumption based off of what is rational. But yeah.
All right, Dylan. Anything you want to promote before we get out of here?
No. Watch this. Watch the live stream. If you're watching this on a Friday, watch it live immediately after.
Yep. Ben, same thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm enjoying. I started watching Traders Canada and Traders UK Celebrity. Both of those have been fun so far. Amazing Race has been fun. So, like, even though Survivor has kind of been a bit of a snooze fest so far, there's still some good reality TV out there.
Nice. Yeah, as for me, main channel, we get everything. Just put out a video there talking about the new Pokemon game, Pokemon Legends ZA. We also have Those Fake Nerds, Nerd Pop Culture News, Wicked Sports News. This is Better Radio, where we put all of our podcasts. And then we also have the Wicked Scary channel, where we cover urban legends and cryptids. So if that sounds interesting to you, go check it out. I know we said we were going to stream this week. I've been so sick this week. I'm drugged to the gills right now to get through this episode. I will go lay down the second I hit end stream. But I'm glad that we were at very least able to get this show, because I love the Blindsiders, even when Survivor's not that great. Love talking to you guys about it. So yeah. Other than that, thank you so much for listening, watching, hanging out with us on the stream, and we will see you in the next one.
We'll see you.